Why do we procrastinate even when we know it's bad for us? It's obviously irrational to do something you know will harm you. But ironically, procrastination is actually our body's way of protecting us, specifically by avoiding a task we perceive as threatening. Think about it. When you realize you need to write that report, your brain responds just like it would for any incoming threat. Your amygdala, the part of your brain involved in emotional processing and threat detection, kicks into gear. It releases hormones like adrenaline, triggering a fear response. This stress-induced panic can overpower your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that gives you long-term thought and regular emotions. In the midst of this fight, flight, or freeze response, you end up avoiding the task in favor of something less stressful, like playing video games. This might seem extreme. After all, it's just a deadline, not a bear attack. But we're most likely to procrastinate on tasks that evoke particular negative feelings like dread, incompetence, or insecurity. This summarizes essentially this TED Talk video, which I will link below. But something that I want to explore further is where this fear initially come from. Well, for me, I tell this story very often. I used to do extremely well in school, but I was a terrible procrastinator. I would wait until the very last minute, pull off 2 all-nighters in order to get that A that I expected out of myself. And I was really happy with the A, but each time I'd be terrified of doing it again because in my mind, success meant enduring those desperate sleepless nights. That desperate scramble is actually what creates this fear. So basically, procrastination is kind of this loop that in fact feeds on itself. The more you associate success with stress, the more your fear starts, and this just fuels your procrastination even more. Now that we know about this loop, how do we break it? Well, like the TED Talk suggests, you need something to short circuit this stress response. We need to address those negative emotions. Part of this is mental, and if you have ADHD like I do, psychologists can help you tackle these negative feelings. But here are some practical strategies that I also always use. For one, reward yourself for small actions. Celebrate the little wins. I know sometimes it doesn't feel a lot, but this helps you create positive associations with the task that you're about to do. Second, deliberately make it really easy at the start. When you play a new video game, the beginning levels are super easy and you get rewarded really easy in the beginning, right? And it's not because they're trying to insult your intelligence, they're hooking you into the format of the game. Apply this into your own work by really easing into the task. Just make it as deliberately simple as possible. Eventually, you can make the task harder and harder, but starting super simple and building momentum, deliberately making it easy is actually something super important. Number 3, stop when you're tired. You might feel like you're on a roll and you just want to finish this task, but stopping before you burn out could be key to helping you sustain long-term productivity. 4, you're not going to become Bill Gates overnight. Break down your big tasks into small manageable chunks and just don't think about the big task at all and overwhelm yourself. Give yourself time to focus on just the small little pieces. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe.